I got nothing bad to say about my babysitters because if I didn't have them, I would die. And I keep tight-lipped because people like to steal them.
I don't even know who you're talking.
Yes, you do.
Renee?
Allie. Renee.
Allie. But
Renee.
I've only used...
Angel. Maggie.
I like them all so much. We love all of our babysitters, but it's somewhere between like 15 to 20 American
Cash
dollars
money.
per hour.
Cash. Am I gonna come home and they're gonna like all of a sudden know Cantonese? Like, are they gonna know coding?
People are like, we gotta raise the minimum wage, and I'm like, make them all babysit.
Babysitters.
There's not enough babysitters out there.
We spend a third of our salary on babysitters.
What, I'm gonna pay you like $20 an hour so you can just like catch up on Walking Dead?
Yeah,
I
man.
can't do that.
We do try to do date nights, but it's an extra $100.
Are we going to Chili's? That's $40. Are we going to sushi? That's like $100.
Oh, that's $100.
And then you gotta add like
another $100. It's gonna cost you $200 for date night, and you have to ask yourself the question, is he worth it?
legitimate question. I do have that feeling of like, we gotta get home by 10.
If we're over it, we're going the full hour. You can't go home at like 11:10 and not pay him for the hour, because then you're a jerk.
Unless you leave like a huge tip.
Because let's be honest, in date night, like both of us are done at like 10:15. We're like, oh God, we have her till 11. What do we do now?
Should we putt-putt? Quickie in the car? Or,
Ugh. What do we do for the other 45 minutes? Did you babysit when you were in high school?
Very little, but it was like $10 for the whole night.
That's right. When I got a face bill, I was stoked. There was one family that I babysat for, and they were super wealthy, and they were super cheap. They'd pay me so little that I was like, it's a good thing I came with an empty stomach, because I'm going to eat you out of house and home. And I would literally eat until I felt like I was going to vomit.
I say good for you. I got fired for eating... These people I babysat for were not nice, I don't think, at all. Their house smelled weird. Definitely a real catty smell, but then something else I can't explain. I feel like this is my revenge. I hadn't had dinner before I got there, and I was so scared, and I wanted to do a good job, that all I did was I ate 3 fruit snack packets. She called my mom. Like, tried to get me in trouble, and my mom was like, what?
Yeah, your mom would get...
What? Feed her fruit snacks. She had like 2 boys that were like 3 and 5. My mom's like, oh, you call me when you've got an 11-year-old girl and tell me how hard parenting is, okay?
I did have a babysitter that I loved so much when I was little. I made it hell on earth for my parents if they did not get her. Her name was Paige Roach.
Sounds like Paige Roach followed the Dead in the late 90s at some point.
She probably did, because she's the coolest. She always let me stay up past my bedtime like I was cool. You can stay up and watch Remington Steele. And she let me stay up. Remington Steele. And she let me stay up with her, and she was the best.
Before I had kids and Finn was born, I was like, you guys need a date night. I'm like, look, I don't know what I'm doing with kids, but I will call 911 if I have to. Finn and I stayed up till like 11 o'clock at night. And
he was so happy.
We watched Gangland. We learned all about the Bloods and the Crips, and he's a perfectly well-adjusted child.
I was like the biggest tattletale with babysitters. I remember this one babysitter we had. I knew she was kind of from the wrong side of the tracks. She was like, hey, Kristin, is it cool if my boyfriend comes out to visit? Don't tell your mom. And I was like, it's totally cool. Her boyfriend came out to our house, and she went outside, and they were totally making out, and she smoked a cigarette in front of me. I couldn't have ratted her out faster. Literally, my mom couldn't shut the door fast enough, and I was like, oh my God, she smoked in front of me and totally kissed her boyfriend. My mom was like, what?
Did she come babysit for you again
I think
ever?
4 more times.
Yeah.
Then she stole something and she was gone for good.
I got fired for fruit snacks.
So we had one babysitter that our kids didn't like. But then you get someone like Renee, and they like her better than us.
Is she like affecting a British accent?
She should have a British accent because that's the air she has.
She's like super nanny.
She has this like angelic voice with like real vibrato. I sing and they go, no, mommy, just Renee.
Renee's like, I knew I saw while you were. And I'm like, the midnight train going in. Why don't they like that?
Don't use her.
Except you make them clean.
What?
That's just genius.
I do not have them like house clean.
What are you having them do?
Mild kitchen work, and maybe if there's a little laundry.
That's house cleaning.
The kids go to bed at 7:30. We pay them so much money.
How do you say it though? Tell me how you say it. Look, I'm your babysitter. Like, say it to me. Hey, look, I'm adorable and I'm a college student. What?
You're very thin and a little threatening, but I need you right now. Do you mind just folding that laundry and cleaning the kitchen before we get back? The kids go to bed at 7:30. You look scared. Especially the toys they played with. Just get it back to where it was. But
Yeah.
you would never ask them to do it. They're gonna like you more. They're gonna want to go to your house more. And I'm not gonna have anybody. The worst is when you come home with a little bit of a buzz to a babysitter and you're just trying to like, hey, how
Trying to
did
play
the night
cool?
go? Oh, that's great.
I'm hitting all the consonants at the ends of my
How
words.
was the evening?
I just need a babysitter to come over, knock on the door, and be like, you know what?
I got this.
Something told me you needed a break.
Are you drunk?
Probably.